Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga and today's Yin Yoga practice to help you release anger, frustration, or irritation, or all three. We're going to be using the wall as a prop. Although if you're from a seasoned Yin Yoga practitioner, you may be able, you definitely could do this without the wall. But I'm not going to talk through everything. So gather up your props. Really all I'm suggesting for this one is probably a bolster, and that's completely optional. So begin in an easy seated position. And go ahead and close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Just begin to land into your practice. And today's practice will be strengthening your glutes, the connective tissue around your glutes and your pelvis, and as I said, releasing anger, and feel free to set your own intention. Begin to feel your spine growing longer out of your pelvis. As if that's the pelvis is the roots, and your spine is the trunk of the tree. Begin to open your heart. Lift the chest. And just let anything that has gone before melt away. And begin to breathe in and out through your nose. See if you can make those breaths even. So something like inhale for 3, exhale for 3, inhale for 4, exhale for 4. Whatever rhythm works for you without strain. And I'd like to read you this quote from Buddha. Buddha smiled and said, "If you become angry with me and I do not get insulted, the anger falls back on you. You are then the only one who becomes unhappy, not me." A couple more breaths here. And then go ahead, we're going to start in a dangling position, which is one of the few standing poses in Yin. And some people don't even do dangling. They don't consider it really to be Yin because it is a standing pose. So come back to your wall, and of course you can definitely do this without a wall. And you can play around with this pose too. You could stand on a couple of blocks to see if that makes it feel a little easier in your body. And you can grab this bolster and take it against your belly and begin to fold over. Maybe become a little closer to your bolster, your thighs. Maybe your head gets a little closer to the floor. Just surrender. Notice any emotions that may be bubbling up for you as you stay in dangling pose for several minutes. Notice if you feel a little frustrated that all you're doing is standing here against a wall. You're not moving. And don't put any labels on it, just take note. And as always, feel free to come out of a pose earlier if you feel called to do so. Remember, it's your practice. I am just a guide. Last couple of breaths here. And then very slowly, bend your knees slightly. Take your bolster, if you're using one, put it off to the side. And then come down onto your knees. Take your legs out to one side. And we're going to come into using the wall. So take your hips towards the wall. And then swing your legs so that they are on the wall. And they're straight. Your feet are pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to take a little rebound here. A short break. And to help your body come back to neutral and to give you time to see the effects of that first pose. Last couple of breaths here. Now, if you find that you have a little space between your bottom and the wall, you might want to scoot yourself so that you're a little closer. And go ahead and bend your left knee and take that knee over the right knee, and then let the right knee bend. And go ahead and press gently. You don't have to press really hard, but just gently press your legs into the wall. So this is shoelace at the wall. And you can hold at the shins, you can hold at your ankles. You can even take one leg up the wall so it could look like this. So a half shoelace. You might want that foot near the hip. Play around in the first minute and then settle into it. And note what your level of anger or frustration or irritation, rigidity, what that level might be. Is it a 1, not very high? Is it a 10? You're ready to blast off. And last couple of breaths here. And just go ahead and switch sides. So briefly come into legs up the wall. Go ahead and bend your left leg. And then bend the right knee. Bring it over the top of the left leg. And legs press gently into the wall and grabbing wherever feels right in your body. This is shoelace pose, and shoelace pose can be really intense when you're sitting. Of course, it varies from person to person. I actually quite like shoelace pose, but I know for many it can be a little challenging and it can feel pretty intense. And when we do it at the wall like this, it takes a lot of that intensity out, but it doesn't change the fact that you are getting into the connective tissue around your glutes, around your hips. Notice what your level of anger and irritation is now. Has it shifted at all? Maybe bring into mind again that quote from Buddha that I shared in the very beginning, that anger generally hurts us more than it does the object of our anger, although it can, of course, damage relationships and feelings. But the truth is, when we get angry, we are being bathed in hormones that are physically damaging to our health. Our blood pressure goes up, our heart rate goes up, we might start breathing very heavily. It's the same as if we saw danger, but we're doing it to ourselves. And I'm going to be sharing with you a calming point you can hold at the end of this practice in case you are feeling angry or frustrated or irritated. And last couple of breaths here. And once again, take that top leg, stretch it up the wall, and then the bottom leg, stretch that up the wall. And let's rebound in legs up the wall again for just a minute. Notice any sensations in your body, any shifts in your energy or your emotions. Last couple of breaths here. Then begin to bend one leg and then the other. Scoot yourself a little bit away from the wall so that your legs are about perpendicular to the floor, your shins. And then begin to bring your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. If that feels good for you, you can of course bring them closer. This is frog at the wall. Frog is another pose that can be very challenging. It's generally done on our knees, on the mat. But using the wall takes a lot of that challenge out, but not the benefits. If you feel your shoulders coming up towards the ceiling, tensing that upper back, see if you can just soften and release. And trust that the earth and your mat and your whatever props are beneath you are supporting you, and you are safe and you are secure. Maybe you begin to feel a little tingling perhaps, kind of by your hip flexors and your thighs, maybe the outside of your thighs. And that is good. We just don't want pain or shooting pain or numbness. Last couple of breaths here. And once again, you can straighten your legs up that wall, scoot yourself a little closer to that wall, even grab the bolster and lift your hips and put it underneath. Although we're only here for a short time, for another rebound. And check in with yourself again, check in with your breath. Check in with that little anger meter. Let's see where it's falling now. I hope by now that you are feeling a whole lot calmer. Last couple of breaths here. And then just begin to take the soles of your feet to the wall and gently let the legs fall over towards your mat. As we move into our final pose, Shavasana, feel free to take whatever Shavasana feels right in your body. There are multiple ways. There is the traditional corpse pose, laying on your back, arms and legs apart. And there is even laying on your stomach. You can also be in a fetal position on either side. Whatever works for you. We're all different. Now is a good time, if you set that intention at the beginning of our practice, to revisit that. I offered releasing anger, and I hope that perhaps this practice has helped you to find a little moment of calm in your day. The emotion of anger is associated with the element of wood in traditional Chinese medicine. The element of wood is associated with spring. So we've been eating a lot of foods that are heavy during the holidays, during the winter, richer perhaps. You might have put on a little weight, and our liver is working really hard. So the liver and gallbladder meridians are the meridians that are associated with the wood element and springtime. So it's a great time to focus on our liver and gallbladder practices. I personally have been focusing on those a lot this spring. I've found it to be super helpful, and I hope that you will find this to be super helpful. But you can, of course, use this practice during any season. We all have things that get us angry. We all have things that irritate us. We get frustrated. All of those things do happen. So this is a great practice for that. And I would like to read you that quote from Buddha again. Buddha smiled and said, "If you become angry with me, and I do not get insulted, the anger falls back on you. You are then the one who becomes unhappy, not me." And go ahead and close your eyes if that's comfortable and safe for you to do. And just relax until you hear me speak again. Feel free to remain in Shavasana for as long as you feel called to. But if you do have to move on and back into your day, allow your breath to begin to deepen. keeping the eyes closed if they are. Allow your body to melt into the floor, your props. Feel your bones get very heavy, yearning towards your mat. And begin to take any small movements you need. Come back into your body, into this day, into this moment. And slowly, with the eyes still closed, in your own way and in your own time, find your way into an easy seated position. Check in with that anger dial again and see where it's pointing now. And I hope that it's dropping down towards zero. Inhale, bring the palms of the hands together in front of your heart. Slightly bow your head over your head. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. And may you feel calm in the midst of life's frustrations. And slowly begin to blink your eyes open, taking in the floor, your mat. Then raising your head and smiling maybe, allowing your hands to fall into your lap or onto your thighs. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. Help me to bring more free yoga, yin yoga, to more people. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click subscribe and click the bell. And hang on for just a couple of minutes if you can. So here is a calming point that you can use when you are feeling angry, frustrated, or irritated. Simply taking a couple of fingers to the outside of your eyes and pressing. And then breathing in and out through the nose. And hold for about 2 to 3 minutes. This stimulates your gallbladder meridian. And that is the yang meridian associated with wood. And you can also massage here, just moving your fingers in little circles, in the corners of your eye, the outer corners of your eye. Breathing slowly and deeply in and out through your nose. And go ahead and let that go, or continue if you feel the need to. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Give yourself gratitude for showing up for yourself today. And have a wonderful, calm,